Hey guys, today I want to bring you a quick review of the Geyser Systems shower. I was looking for a shower option for quite a long time. Something that we did for a while that worked is I bought a 12 volt water pump on Amazon for like 30 bucks. And it was pretty much the cheaper version of this, where I would just heat up some water and then jimmy rig that pump to somehow work and give us a little bit of water to spray off. But this thing has definitely been worth the upgrade. We've used it multiple times already and we'll continue to do so on our trips. There are a few things about it that I'll tell you that were error of my own, just not doing enough research and learning about it, that helped to have a better shower experience if you just know those few things. So this thing is pretty sweet. It's really not that big. It's pretty packable and it fits right into our medium-sized Plano crate with a bunch of other gear that we have. So this lid here comes off. In here you can store all of your parts. You can store your power cable that plugs into a 12 volt source, as well as the main hose. So all you do is you plug this hose into here, clicks in just like that, and then you just have a few different control options on the top here. You have an on-off switch there. And then some indicators here that kind of give you some information as you go. The few of the options are your water temp. So it will tell you if your water is too hot, and it will actually shut down the pump so that you don't burn yourself and so that you don't ruin the pump in here. It will tell you when it's at that 100-degree range, which is just about perfect. And then it will also tell you if you're below that 100-degree range to know if you were a little too cold. It also has one other indicator that tells you when you're low on water. That way, if you're in the middle of a shower and that water starts blinking, you know that you are getting towards the end of your water. So, like I said, that just kind of clicks in there really easy. They sell all different colors of sponges, so you can have different ones for dishes, for different people using the shower. So all you do is you just take your sponge, you just click it right into here, just like that, and then all the water comes out through this sponge. So the nice thing about this is it has an adjustable regulator on it here. So once you've started this thing up and got power going to it and your water's in there, you just use this to adjust the flow of the water. So it has 3 different main settings. You can keep it all the way off and then adjust those one by one for the amount of water flow. So that number 1 just pulsates a little bit of water through here at a time, and it would last a long time on that setting. The second one puts a little more water through it, and then all the way open just kind of flows that water through the sponge very quickly. That way you have some different water flow settings depending on how you're using this. The owner of Geyser himself kind of explained to me how this would work just when I saw him at a trade show. And the best way to do it is put it on level 1 or 2. What you do is you just put your soap right on the pad, whatever soap you use, and you just start there. You start on level 1 or 2, have all that soap on there already, and just start from the top and go down. And then you just keep on going until the more and more water comes out of this and it starts to rinse that soap away off of the sponge. Once you get closer to the end of your shower, then you can start turning this up and opening it even all the way and start rinsing the water over your head and dripping it out just to use all that water. But that's kind of a good way to do it so that you aren't just open at the very beginning and then running out of water while using it. So start slow and then increase the water flow as you get closer towards the end of your shower. It also just takes a little bit of a learning curve to know how much water you're using and when to use it. So that's how that part works. As far as filling this with water, it's super simple as long as you know what you're doing. I have made a few mistakes that were my error. So it takes about 0.8 gallons is the capacity of this thing, which is around 3 liters. So if you just use the liters as your reference, it makes it a lot easier. So what you do is you actually start by taking 2 liters of cold water, you pour those 2 liters in here, and then you boil 1 liter of water on your stove, and then pour the hot water on top of the cold water in this, and that gives you your 3 total liters. I've made a few mistakes that I'll tell you that'll help you have a better experience with this thing. The first time I used it, I put the hot water in here first and then the cold water. And what it did was it triggered this pump to hot sensor. And then it took a long time for that to cool down and reset before I could have my shower. The other thing I did wrong was once I had learned that first lesson, I was smart enough then to put the cold water in first and then the hot water. But when I showered, the first part of my shower was using that cold water, and it was kind of a lukewarm temperature. And then once it got down to that bottom third, it was too hot to use. It was scalding me. So once you put in your cold water and your hot water before you shower, put the lid on, and if you just shake it just a little bit, it will mix that water well enough that you have even temperature the whole time. So remember those if you're using one. But in conclusion, loved having this thing. We don't like going a really long time without having showers. So having this at our disposal has been awesome. I thought I'd use it more for dishes. I haven't yet, just because I haven't wanted to get out the whole thing. But you totally could use it for dishes and it would work really well. And the shower aspect of it is amazing. And I can't recommend it enough. It's been a great system to have. Your power cable just plugs into the back of this, plugs right into a 12-volt source. We use a 300-watt power station. So this just can go wherever the shower is and plug in. You could also just plug it right into an outlet in your car as well if you don't have a power station. So let me know in the comments if you have any more questions about the Geyser shower. I know there's a lot of videos on these already, but that's kind of my personal experience with it. And so I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.